So good day everyone, my name is Shirley Mart Antonio, and today or in this moment I'll be discussing the assigned topic to me, which is the grammar and linguistics. So let's see the outline for my topic. So the first outline for my topic is the grammar and linguistics, the short overview of syntactocentric. Third is the description of traditional grammar and structural linguistics. So the fourth is the conclusion. Let's have the grammar and linguistics. Grammar and linguistics explore the use and meaning of language. Grammar includes the rules that govern the sentence formation. Linguistic is the scientific study of the language as a whole. So when we say grammar, it governs the rules. Kumbaga, muni ang mga basis or standard sa isa ka sentence or isa ka language nga basihan. So linguistic is the scientific study. Kumbaga, if the linguistic is the scientific study, so grammar is the systematic study. When we say systematic is pagka step-step or sunod-sunod na yung siya gina basihan nga rules nga dapat mauni siya or dapat ingani siya nga pagkasunod or pagka-plaster sa isa ka sentence or sa isa ka language sa sentence. So, grammar versus linguistic. Grammar has the rules of language. Grammar and linguistic are the fundamental aspect of a language study. Grammar refers to the set of rules governing the structure of sentences, just like what I said earlier, that grammar has these rules that govern the structure of a sentence. While the linguistic is the scientific study of a language, has the main areas which are the phonetics that deals in sounds of speech. Morphology is the word formation. Syntax is the sentence structure. Semantic is the meaning of a sentence. Pragmatic, the language in context. So when we say study of a language, so why it is called study of scientific? Why is linguistic is it is scientific study? Because it applies scientific methods for studying a language. It is a process of inquiry that involves making observation, forming hypotheses, and testing hypotheses, drawing conclusion. So these are the scientific steps and methods are used in order to study a language. Linguistic is a descriptive approach. When we say descriptive, it seeks to study and understand how a language is actually used, or giunsa jud ang kanang isa ka, kumbaga giunsa ang isa ka word, kumbaga nagdal siya sa kanang how a language is actually used. It focuses how a language actually used rather than prescribing how it should be used. So kumbaga nag-focus siya kung giunsa paggamit ang isa ka language rather than kanang giunsa dapat. So kung yung dapat rules na siya. So when we say rules na siya sa grammar na bilang. So linguistic giunsa kumbaga ang structure sa ihang sentence. So and it is interested in studying all the aspect of a language, including its structures, meaning, and use in different contexts. So, linguistics is a broad field. Traditional grammar. So, when we say traditional, I'll be explaining that later to this video. So, let's move on to the next outline for my topic. So, overview syntactocentric. Move on for the next outline for my topic. So, the overview for syntactocentric. So, syntax as a central component of a language. The belief that the syntax is the most important aspect of a language, influencing other components such as morphology and phonology. So, when we say by the way, syntactocentric came from the word syntax. When we it means structure of a sentence. These theories emphasize the structural aspect of language and how sentences are formed according to the specific rules. There are three majors of syntactocentric theories are traditional grammar, structural linguistic, and generative grammar. So, when we say syntactocentric, it means focusing on how sentences are put together. It is like paying or focuses to the rules of grammar and order of words rather than just what the words mean. It's about understanding the structure of a language. Kumbaga, kanang lalom siya nga pagkasabot or kanang ga-focus siya more on sa kanang pag-iunsa ang isa ka sentence giyon sa pagplaster ang isa ka sentence. So kanang is like ga-focus po siya sa rules of grammar and the order of words rather than what the words kunya ang kanang rules sa grammar kaya sa kanang kung unsa ang buot pasabot sa words. So what is the connection between the grammar and linguistic of the syntactocentric word? So the syntactocentric word or theory or approach, it focuses on how sentences are built. It is about learning the rules for putting words together correctly, which is what grammar is all about. So, di ba ang grammar is all about rules, unsa ang tamang pagka-plaster, unsa ang kanang dapat nga gamiton para matuman to nga rules or rules as sa grammar. And is like also paying attention to the structure of a language to understand and speak it properly. So, structure, syntax, so linguistic. So, these are the connection between syntactocentric grammar and linguistics. So those are the connection. Kumbaga ang syntactocentric is kana bitang murag pinaghalo sa linguistic and grammar. Nata sa third outline for my report. So the traditional grammar, one of the oldest approaches of language study during the ancient Greece and Rome. So during na siya guys. So medyo typo error. It is also prescriptive rules and focuses on the correct use of language rather than natural linguistic variation. So ang traditional grammar and grammar is kumbaga sila ang kanang same or they are the likeness. So focuses on rules for constructing sentence like subject, verb, agreement, and word order. So when we say syntactocentric, kaya nganong nabilong sila sa syntactocentric is syntactocentric approach emphasizes these same rules, helping us to understand how to arrange words correctly in a sentence, diba? It's like what I've said earlier that syntactocentric is the combination of linguistic and grammar. So nabilang dito ang sa mga rules, ang tamang pagka-arrange sa words and how the structure of a sentence. So that's why the term should be syntactocentric. And also is a prescriptive approach. Diba? Kung ang ganina is ang traditional is a prescriptive approach. So why it is a prescriptive approach? What is the word prescriptive? So when we say prescriptive rather, which this prescribe the rules and regulation of a language that focuses teaching people how to use language correctly. It is based in convention that are considered to be standard. So traditional grammar has a standard or rules to follow. Kumbaga, similar sa grammar and focuses on rules and convention, teaches people how to use grammar correctly even if it is not the way that kanang most people are actually use or kanang kumbaga dili kay ginagamit halimbawa na like anang I'm. So I'm kailangan siya I am or kanang asa unsa jud ang iyang naunahan or root word kun aha siya gikan unsa ang iyang kanang pinagmulan. So dili siya kanang pero example na to siya. And so kato siya kanang gasubay siya sa rules, even most of people don't do, or kanang dili sila don't use it or wala ginagamit. It gives emphasis on the convention and set of rules of the language suggested by. So mao to ang grammar. So let's proceed to the principle of traditional grammar. So mostly prescriptive mao to kanang ga focus siya kanang sa rules, lack of flexibility. So because kanang dili man kay siya kanang kumbaga naman siya standard, naman siya rules. So dili siya kanang kumbaga para sa linguistic nga kanang paano bitaw siya kanang magamit bisang unsa or kanang flexible kanang pwede siya sa bisan unsa nga sa unsa nga kanang structure sa sentence or content or context sa sentence kay di man siya flexible. So limited context consideration. So kay mao lagi to kay naman siya standard rules nga ginasunod. So that's why limited lang ang context nga gina-consider when we talk about traditional grammar. So let's move on to the structural linguistic. So let's move on to the traditional structural linguistic rather. So developed by Ferdinand de Saussure in the early 20th century, a systematic way of analyzing language. It views language as a system of interrelated signs. So connected language as a system that's structured and follows patterns which can be analyzed independently of meaning, emphasis and structure, prioritize syntax over meaning and real-world language use, neglect of pragmatics, and does not fully address how language is used and context. So, structural linguistic. It was used or developed by Ferdinand Saussure. Language as system. So it follows patterns independently. So when we say structures, it looks at the pattern and structures of language, such as how sounds, words, and sentences are organized. So from the word itself, linguistic. So kanang it talks about linguistic. Syntax is the key part of these deals as it deals with sentence structure. By focusing on syntax, we're looking at one of the main structure in language. So, kumbaga, kung ang traditional is rules, there is syntax. Ga-focus sa sounds. Kumbaga, ga-focus sa sounds, words, and sentence. Yung sa pag-organize kung iba sa traditional grammar is kanang rules and standard nga ginasubay. So, dili siya basta-basta. Pero ang structural linguistic is kanang flexible siya, kanang dili lang siya mag-matter sa kung unsa ang dapat, pero kanang pwede siya nga marang ihaom-haom siya, pwede siya ihaom-haom like that. So overall, so what na lang ko tong generative grammar is kanang gi-introduce. So ang ano is to introduce naman. So the syntactocentric approach or form based is like zooming, kumbaga kanang gibahin-bahin or kanang murag ipadako gi-zoom in on the sentence building part of the traditional grammar and structural linguistic that help us to understand and use the rules that make sentence work, and also to communicate and to communicate effectively and efficiently. Kalang I hope na iwarang na kuan. So let's move on to the fourth part or outline for my topic. The conclusion. Understanding syntactocentric theories is crucial for linguistic study as they provide different perspectives on language, structure, and function. Traditional grammar focuses on language, correctness, structural linguistic, and systematic structure. So, motong ingon. Yung correctness, systematic structure. So, while each theory has its limitation, together they contribute to the broader understanding of how language operates. So, if ato lang sabtan unit kanang ato yung sabtan or ato yung mahimay-himay o ato yung kuan mahimay-himay natog sabot. So nasabtan jud nato kung unsang masaybot pasabot sa mga rules sa language, kanang mga sa paggamit, unsa ang dapat, unsa ang mga kalahian sa grammar and linguistics, unsa ang structural linguistics and other pang about sa languages. So language is broad siya kaayo. So kailangan jud nato kanang i-delve in and himay-himayon kay para sa matag isa ato yung masabtan kung saan dapat o kan. So mao na to, and I hope nga nasabtan na ninyo og dira kay that's all. I hope that you understand, even though some of my language or my pronunciation is not really claro. I hope that you will learn something from this video, and thank you for watching. See you.